Hey everybody, welcome to another Elite Eight game. Winner goes to the Final Four. It's the two remaining Yankee teams left in the tournament. They'll be squaring off against each other. The 1941 Yankees against the 1977 Yankees. And we'll be right back with the starting lineups and the beginning of the game in just a moment. Okay, starting pitcher for the Yankees is going to be Ron Guidry. He pitched in the first round of the tournament when they defeated the Atlanta Braves, but it's been simulated 4 days now, and Ed Figueroa pitched the second round, so he is eligible to pitch again. And we'll meet the lineup that he will be facing for the 41 Yankees. Leading off and playing shortstop is Phil Rizzuto. Batting second and playing third base is Red Rolfe. Hitting third and playing right field is Tommy Henrich. Batting cleanup and playing center field is Jolton Joe DiMaggio. Hitting fifth and playing left field is Charlie Keller. Batting sixth and catching is Bill Dickey. Batting seventh and playing second base is Joe Gordon. Batting eighth and the designated hitter is backup catcher right-handed hitting Buddy Rozar. And batting ninth and playing first base is Johnny Sturm. And on the mound for the 41 Yankees is veteran Lefty Gomez. So right now, Ron Guidry will have his work cut out for him against these 41 Yankees. They have taken it to Jack Morris and Vida Blue, so they're ready to take it to Guidry as well. We shall see how that plays out. We're all ready to go. Phil Rizzuto stepping into the box against Louisiana Lightning Ron Guidry. And on the 77 season, Ron Guidry was 16-7 with a 2.82 ERA. So he's going to start out against Phil Rizzuto. And we're underway here in the Elite Eight second game. It's a 6-5. So Guidry against the right-handed hitting Rizzuto, 6-5. Chance for a home run, although it's only a 1-2 chance. And on top of that, Phil Rizzuto has weak power against lefties. So even if he gets this, it'll be a single. So a 1-2 for a single. Anything else will be a fly out to left field. It's a 14, so it's a fly out to left. Rizzuto with warning track power. Flies to left. There's one away. And the third baseman, Red Rolfe, will step into plate. Lefty against Guidry. It's a 6-6, so we're off Guidry again. This time against a lefty. And 6-6 is a 1-4 for a double. 5-20 is a fly out to center. So a 1-4, and Rolfe will have himself a double. It's a 3, so he got it. Red Rolfe with a 1-out double. And that brings up that brings up Tommy Henrich, the number 3 hitter. So you can't walk him because DiMaggio is right behind him. So here's Henrich against Guidry again, lefty on lefty matchup. It is a 6-3, so we're under Guidry again against a lefty. 6-3 is a single. 6-3 is a single to right field. They will hold Rolfe at third. Don't want to have him thrown out with DiMaggio coming up. So runners are at the corners with 1 out. And the 41 Yankees are up to their old tricks again. Tell you what, they're going to be tough out in this tournament because they have been just rolling. Hotter than any other team. And now Joe DiMaggio, runner at the corners, 1 out against Guidry. He needs a double play in the worst way. It's a 2-7, so it's finally off of the batter card. And a 2-7, he almost got a double play. As it is, he got a ground ball to second base C. So DiMaggio will be retired 4-3, but Rolfe will score. And it's a 1-0 41 Yankees in the lead. Henrich will go to second. DiMaggio is out 4-3 for out number 2. So Henrich is at second base with 1 out. And Charlie Keller is up, lefty on lefty against Guidry. It's a 2-8. Keller 2-8 against a lefty is a ground ball back to the pitcher Guidry. And the inning is over. So it could have been a lot worse for Guidry. He escapes, all things considered, he escapes pretty unharmed. Only the 1 run allowed. So we go to the bottom of the first with the score. The 1941 Yankees won, and the 1977 Yankees coming to bat. And the 1977 Yankees, or 41 Yankees, rather, will have Lefty Gomez as their starting pitcher. Gomez on the 41 season was 15-5 with a 3.75 ERA. And we'll meet the lineup that he's going to be facing. Leading off in center field will be Mickey Rivers. Batting second and playing left field is Lou Piniella. Hitting third and catching the captain, Thurman Munson. Batting cleanup, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Batting fifth is the designated hitter, Cliff Johnson, who really clubs left-handed pitching. Batting sixth is first baseman Chris Chambliss. Batting seventh is third baseman Greg Nettles. He was the MVP of their last game. Batting eighth is Willie Randolph at second base. And batting ninth is Bucky Bleeping Dent. So, Lefty Gomez steps to the plate. And he will get things going here against Mickey Rivers, leadoff hitter for the 77 Yankees. Bronx is burning fame. Here is Mickey Rivers. It's a 1-5 against a lefty. 1-5 is a single, so it's Mickey Rivers leads off with a single. He is a B stealer, but Dickey has a -4 arm, so they're not going to test that. They're going to hope for some hits here. And Lou Piniella steps to the plate. Lou Piniella. It is a 4-5 against Lefty Gomez. 4-5 against a right-handed batter is a fly ball to right field. So, fly ball to Henrik for out number 1. And that'll bring up the captain, Thurman Munson. And Munson, against a lefty, 3-5 against a lefty, is a single to right field. So it's a single to right field. And Mickey Rivers will go to second base. He could try to go to third since there's only one out. And let's calculate for that possibility. His speed rating for Mickey Rivers, he has a speed rating of 17. He's being held on first base, which drops him to a 16. And then the arm rating of right fielder Tommy Hendrick is a -2. So that would drop him down to a 14. So they're going to take that gamble to try to get him to third base with less than 2 outs. So if it's a 1-14, he will make it. It's an 8, he made it. So it's a 1-14, he made it. So Rivers will go to third. So now runners are at the corners with only 1 out, and the Yankees of 77 have something going here. For Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. It is a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but Reggie didn't have a whole lot of trouble with lefties. He hit them pretty well. So here's the pitch from Gomez. It's a 5-3. So Gomez against the lefty. 5-3 is a fly ball left field X. So it's fly ball to Keller in left. He's a number 2. So this could be a sacrifice fly. We'll see. It's an 11. So an 11 on a fly ball to left. Let's check the situation here. An 11 is going to fall into the error rating because it's 8-13, which means we have an error check on Keller, who's an E8. So an E8 says that if he has to get a 7 through a 10 to make the play, and even if he does make the play, it's a fly ball B, which would be a sacrifice fly. Anything else is going to be an error. So the Yankees are definitely going to score. Yankees of 77, I should say, are definitely going to score. It just depends on if they score 1 run or 2 runs, or if there's 2 outs or only 1 out. So here is the check on the E8 rating. It's a 10. It's a 10. Left fielder E8 at 10 is a fly ball B. So Keller did make the catch, but it is a sacrifice fly. So Reggie, sacrifice fly to left field for the second out. So aggressive base running that moved Rivers to third on that single helps produce a run. And we are tied at 1 apiece with 2 outs here in the first. And Cliff Johnson, the batter, with Munson still at first. Here's Johnson. It's a 1-5. And a 1-5 is a single to left field for Cliff Johnson. So another hit. And that will move Munson to second base. Runners at first and second. Third hit of the inning for the Yankees of 77. And here's Chris Chambliss. Ooh, Chambliss, a 4-6. So Lefty Gomez against a left-handed hitter walks Chris Chambliss, and that will load the bases. So the bases are now loaded for Greg Nettles. And we know what he did in his last game against the 90 Cincinnati Reds. He was the MVP of that game. So he has a chance to put the 77 Yankees in the lead. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, tied at 1. Gomez against Nettles. It's a 6-8. 6-8 is a fly ball to center field to DiMaggio, and the inning is over. So the 77 Yankees do tie the game at 1 apiece, but they do leave 3 runners on base that could come back to bite them. After 1 inning, we are tied at 1 apiece, and now Bill Dickey steps to the plate for the 41 Yanks. Bill Dickey, 2-7 against Guidry, the lefty. Lefty on lefty, it's a ground ball to second baseman Willie Randolph for out number 1. So 1 away on the 4-3 ground out. And that will bring up second baseman Joe Gordon. Righty on lefty matchup. It's a 3-8. So Gordon against a left-handed pitcher, 3-8 is a walk. So Joe Gordon draws a walk. He's only a C-rated Steeler, so he's not going anywhere. And designated hitter Buddy Rozar steps to the plate. Right-handed hitter. It's a 2-11 against the lefty Guidry. 2-11's a foul out to Thurman Munson. So there's 2 away as he fouls to Munson. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Johnny Sturm. 4-9 against Guidry, against the lefty. 4-9's a ground ball to shortstop X. That is Bucky Dent. He's a number 2 rated shortstop. So see if Dent can make the play. It's an 18. I do believe he will make the play on an 18, but we'll verify. Shortstop number 2, 18 is a ground ball A. In fact, everybody makes a play. 16 or higher, and anybody makes the play. So it's a 6-3 ground out to end the inning. Nothing doing for the 41 Yankees. We go to the bottom of the second, and the 77 Yankees will send up the bottom portion of the order. Randolph, Dent, and then back to the top of the order for Rivers. But here's Willie Randolph against lefty Gomez. And it's a 4-6 against a right-handed batter. That's a walk. So lefty Gomez walks Willie Randolph. Willie Randolph draws the walk. And Dent, who is a very good bunter, he's an A bunter, and he is up there in a bunting situation. Bunting A. So we go to the advanced sacrifice bunt table. He's an A bunter, but the 41 Yankees are looking for it, so he's reduced to a B. So we'll see what he can do as a B bunter. It's a 7. So a B bunter on the advanced strategy chart, sacrifice, B, 7. Batter thrown out by first baseman, runners advance. So Dent does the job. Sacrifice hit, we'll call it 3-4 for the out. Moves Randolph into scoring position with 1 out. And we're back to the top of the order and Mickey Rivers. So 2 chances for the 77 Yankees to take the lead here. Here's chance number 1, Mickey Rivers. It's a 4-10 against a lefty Gomez. 4-10 against a lefty batter. It's a fly ball to center field. So out number 2 as Mickey Rivers flies to center. Now it's up to Lou Piniella, Sweet Lou, the chance to drive the go-ahead run. It's a 3-2 against a lefty. 3-2 is a walk. So Lou Piniella will draw a 2-out walk, and that will put runners at first and second base for the captain, Thurman Munson. Munson singled his first time up. It's a 3-7 against a left-handed pitcher. 3-7's a ground ball to shortstop. So he had a bunch of hits there, but missed them. Ended up grounded out to the shortstop, Rizzuto, who actually technically went the short way to second base for the fielder's choice to end the inning. So after 2 complete, we are tied at 1 apiece. And the aforementioned Phil Rizzuto will lead things off here in the top of the third against Guidry. He was 0 for 1 with a fly ball to left field his first time up. It's a 6-6. Guidry facing the right-handed Rizzuto has a chance for a big hit here. A double is a 1-10, and a single is 11-20. So Rizzuto looking to start things for the 41 Yanks. Needs a 1-10 for a double. He didn't get it. He got an 18, but it's a single. So that's a good way to get things started as a leadoff hit. Again, he is a B stealer, but Munson has a -1 throwing arm, and you got big hitters coming up, so they're not going to run themselves out of an inning. They will let Red Rolf, Henrik, and DiMaggio drive him in. Rolf doubled and scored his first time up. It's a 3-6. 3-6 against the lefty Guidry is a fly ball to center field. So he flies out to Mickey Rivers for out number 1. So 1 landmine dodged by Guidry. Now he's got obstacle number 2, Tommy Hendrick. And it's a 2-6. Hendrick against the lefty, 2-6, the ground ball pitcher B. So Guidry will field it and fire to Bucky Dent for the force play, 1-6. And Hendrick will reach first on the fielder's choice. And now there's 2 outs for DiMaggio. 2-7. 2-7 against the lefty. 2-7 against the lefty is a ground ball, second base C. And that was exactly what he rolled the first time. So it's his second consecutive 4-3 ground out for DiMaggio. And that's the key, one of the keys to containing the 41 Yankees is to contain DiMaggio. Guidry has done that, and he's kept his team in the game so far. It's 1-1. We go to the bottom of the third, and Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, steps up. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up to tie the score. This time he's leading off against Gomez, lefty on lefty. It's a 2-5, and he just missed a home run. A 2-6 would have been a home run, but it's a 2-5 fly out to left. There are no ballpark effects, so he hit a deep one to left, but Keller was able to bring it in before it got to the fence. And Reggie is out, F7. 1 away for Cliff Johnson, the designated hitter. And Cliff Johnson is a 2-7 against lefty Gomez. 2-7 is a walk. So Cliff Johnson with a 1-out walk. And that'll bring up first baseman Chris Chambliss. Lefty on lefty. It's a 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball to short X. So Rizzuto ran into fielding troubles in the last game because he has an E36 rating. But he's got good range. So if he can make the play and not go to the error chart, he does pretty well. That's a 16, so I think he's safe on this one. Shortstop number 2, number 16. Ground ball A, that's a double play, 6-4-3. So Rizzuto turned the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning for the 77 Yankees. And we go to the 4th inning with the score still 1-1. And Charlie Keller will lead off for the 41 Yanks against Guidry. Keller grounded to back to Guidry his first time up. So let's see what he does this time. 5-3 off of Guidry. 5-3 against the lefty. He's going to do it again. Ground ball right back to Guidry again. Pitcher X. He's a number 3 rated pitcher defensively. So he's a 3 rated pitcher. So let's see if that comes into play. It's a 4, so I believe on pitcher cards it has to be a 1, 2, or 3 to factor the range. It is. It's a 4, so we go to his error range. And Guidry is an E7. So we're going to check the pitcher E7. And we see here he needs a 5 through an 11. If it's a 2, 3, 4, or 12, he will make an error. So he needs a 5 through an 11 to make the play. It's an 11. He made the play. So that is a ground ball A, but nobody's on base. That was leadoff hitter. So it's a 1-3 ground out again for Keller. So he hasn't gotten it past Guidry yet in 2 tries. Here's Bill Dickey. Bill Dickey and Guidry's got the ground ball rolling today. Ground ball outs. All right, so 1-9 for Dickey against the left-hander, and he grounds it back to Guidry again. Second consecutive at bat that the ground ball has gone back to the pitcher Guidry. He has now got 3 assists in 4 innings. All right, here's Joe Gordon, 2 outs, bases empty. It's a 4-6 against Guidry against a right-hander. 4-6 is a fly ball to right field. Reggie Jackson handles it, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. And so Guidry is doing his best to put the 41 Yankees on ice and give his team a chance to win. It's still tied 1-1. And Greg Nettles, the batter, against lefty Gomez. Lefty on lefty matchup. It is a 3-5 for Nettles against a lefty, and he flies to Joe DiMaggio in center field for out number 1. So fly out to center. That's the second time he's done that. Both times he's done that, fly to DiMaggio. Here is Willie Randolph. He walked his first time up and then was stranded. It's a 2-2 against the lefty. 2-2 is a ground ball to short, so that's going to be the second out of the inning for out number 2. And it did say plus injury, but in this tournament on the C and D card and dice side, I'm not using injuries. Had to use them on the computer side because I had no choice. All right, here's Dent. Dent, a 6-8. So Gomez against a right-hander, 6-8 is a strikeout. So Lefty Gomez puts the K on Bucky Dent. We completed 4 with the score still 1-1. And Guidry back to the mound. We'll be taking on the bottom of the order Buddy Rosar, Johnny Sturm, and Phil Rizzuto. Rosar popped to Munson his first time up. This time it's a 5-3 against Guidry against a right-hander. Is a ground ball back to Guidry again. He's got that ground ball to himself working. It is an X, so we do check for potential error. He is a 3-rated pitcher. It's a 17, so we're in the error range, and he is an E7. So he's looking for that 5 through 11 to make the play. And he got it with an 11, so he will make the play for yet another 4th assist in this game. So that'll bring up Johnny Sturm. It's a 1-7 for Sturm against the left-hander. 1-7, potential base hit, 1-15 for a single. 16-20, he lines out to Randolph. It's a 6, so it's a base hit for Johnny Sturm, a 1-out single. And now the Yankees of 41 may have something going. Back to the top of the order, and the scooter, Phil Rizzuto, with Sturm at first, and 1 out. It's a 6-7 against Guidry, against a right-hander. 6-7's a walk, so he walks Rizzuto, and now we're getting dangerous as there's 2 on and only 1 out. And we're getting to the heavy hitters, Redroff, Henrik, and DiMaggio. So Roth is up, lefty-on-lefty matchup. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. It's a 1-9 for Roth against a lefty. That's a ground ball to second base C, so the runners will advance. But now there are 2 outs. Another ground ball out. And the runners do advance to second and third. Should have been a 1 there, not a 2 there. All right, second and third. Tommy Henrik is up with 2 outs. Lefty on lefty against Guidry. It's a 6-4. So Guidry against a left-hander. 6-4 is a strikeout. So a big strikeout for Guidry to get out of the jam. And that's going to do it for the 41 Yankees. They are gone in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Score still tied at 1. And Mickey Rivers and the top of the order coming up for the 77 Yankees against Lefty Gomez. So let's see what Mickey Rivers can do. It's a 2-9. 2-9 against the lefty. 2-9 is a strikeout. So Lefty Gomez puts the K on Mickey Rivers for out number 1. And that brings up Lou Piniella. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a 5-4. So against a right-handed batter, a 5-4. Fly ball center field X. That's DiMaggio's territory. He's a number 1 rated center fielder. That's a 13. So we'll see if he's in the error range or the fielding range. 9-12 would be an error check. So 13 is going to be simply a fly ball out. So that's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the captain, Thurman Munson. And Munson, a 2-5 against the lefty. 2-5 is a walk. So Thurman Munson draws a 2-out walk to keep the inning going for Reggie Jackson. So Reggie steps to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. And Reggie is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. Both outs have gone to left field. It's a 2-9 against the lefty. And that's a home run. Reggie Jackson, he missed it last time by rolling a 2-8. This time he gets it, a 2-9. So Mr. October, maybe call him Mr. May. It's a 2-run home run for Reggie Jackson. And that 2-out walk comes back to bite Lefty Gomez. And it is a 3-1 ball game now for the 77 Yankees. Here is Cliff Johnson. It's a 4-9. 4-9 against a right-hander is a potential double. 1-12 is a double. 13-20 is a single. So Johnson with a 1-12 will have himself a double. It's a 14, so it's a single only. So Cliff Johnson with a single will bring up Chris Chambliss. And that's a 5-8 against a lefty. 5-8 against the lefty is a walk. So Lefty Gomez kind of getting rattled here. There's another walk. Puts 2 runners back on base with 2 outs for Greg Nettles. Granted, it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but still, Greg Nettles is dangerous. He's got some home runs in that left field, left-handed hitting column against lefties. It's a 2-6. See if he found any. Nope, 2-6 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So Gomez gets out of it with any further damage. But a big 2-run home run for Reggie Jackson. And after 5 complete, it's the 77 Yankees 3 and the 41 Yankees 1. Okay, top of the 6th, and Jolton Joe DiMaggio is up. He's grounded to second twice. So Guidry has kept him under wraps. 6-11. 6-11 under Guidry's card is a ground ball to short. So he's done it again. Guidry has kept DiMaggio off the bases. Ground ball to Bucky Dent. 1 out. And here is Charlie Keller. And that's a 4-10. So Guidry continued to get rolls off his own card. 4-10 against the lefty is a ground ball to Dent again. This time it's an error check or range check. And Dent is a number 2 rated shortstop. And it's an 8, so that's going to be in the error range, I do believe, where we have to check for an error. Shortstop, 8-12 means we're looking to the defensive splits. And Dent is a 20, E20. So we look over here at E20. He needs a 7 through a 12 to make the play. 7 through 12, he will make the play. 6 or less, it'll be an error. It's a 6, so it's an error. It's an error on Bucky Dent. It's a 1-base error. Had he rolled a 2, it would have been a 2-base error. But the 1 or the 6 makes it a 1-base error. So Dent made the first play against DiMaggio, but he bobbles this one, unable to handle it. And Bucky Dent commits the error. We'll see if that comes back to bite him. Here is Bill Dickey, the catcher. We're still off Guidry's card. 6-6 against a lefty. And that's a potential double. 1-4 for a double. 5 and above will be a fly out to Mickey Rivers. So let's see what Dickey can do. It's a 4, so that's going to be a double. That's going to be a double. And Keller will stop at third base. Down by 2. They don't want to take the chance of getting somebody thrown out. They do have Joe Gordon coming up next. Runners are at second and third with 1 out. And Joe Gordon steps to the plate. Little Joe Gordon. He did have 87 RBIs on the 1941 season to go with 24 homers. So here we go. Infield is back. They want to get at least one out here to get another out and give up the run. So Gordon against Guidry. It's a 3-10. So Gordon against the lefty, 3-10. Fly ball center field B, question mark. Question mark on the center field B. So they do have a chance to try to score him on a sacrifice fly, but it's not guaranteed. So we got to do some calculations here. Mickey Rivers is a +2 on the arm rating, so that's going to help him. He's not being held on, so that will help him as well. Charlie Keller is a number 15. So when you add 2 to Rivers, that's a 17. So 1-17, he will be safe. They'll take that gamble. It's a 5. He made it, so it's a sacrifice fly to center field for Joe Gordon. Unearned run comes in, and it's a 3-2 ball game now. And that'll bring up DH Buddy Rosar with Dickey at second. It's a 4-2 against a right-hander. And that's a ground ball to short to Bucky Dent. He makes the play. But he didn't make the play on Keller, and it cost him a run, an unearned run. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score now, the 1977 Yankees 3 and the 1941 Yankees 2. And the 41 Yankees will be sending out Lefty Gomez back to the bump. They do have some relief pitching lined up here in case there's a faltering of Lefty Gomez. And it looks like they're going to be warming up here to see who their reliever might be. They didn't really have a good bullpen. They had pretty good starters, but not much in the way of bullpen activity. They do have Norm Branch. He's a possibility. So it looks like Norm Branch might be the guy. Actually, I take it back. It's going to be Tiny Bonham, just because I like his name. Tiny Bonham. So Tiny Bonham is loosening in the Yankee bullpen in case Gomez starts to falter. So Tiny Bonham is in the bullpen, warming up. All right, Willie Randolph to start off the bottom of the sixth against Lefty Gomez. It's a 6-10. Gomez against a righty, 6-10. Ground ball to third. So ground ball to Red Rolfe. And there's one away for Bucky Dent. He's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. It's a 2-10 for Bucky Dent against the lefty. 2-10 is a line out to Red Rolfe at third. So Rolfe handles the first 2 outs with no problem. And that'll bring up Mickey Rivers with 2 outs and the base is empty. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. So 4-7 against the lefty batter. 4-7 is a split chance. 1-17, it'll be a single for Mickey Rivers. So anything other than 18, 19, or 20, and Rivers will get a base hit. It's an 18, he didn't get it. It's an 18, it's a line out that is snagged by Johnny Sturm. So Sturm robs Mickey Rivers of a potential base hit. And we've played 6. It is the 77 Yankees 3 and the 41 Yankees 2. And it's so apt to happen in real baseball. When a player makes a fine defensive play, he usually leads off the next inning, and that's what Johnny Sturm is doing right here. He's 1 for 2 with a single. It's a 2-9. 2-9 for Sturm against the lefty pitcher. Is a ground ball to second. So he grounds out to Willie Randolph. I played too many games today, I think. Ground out to Willie Randolph, and there's one away for Phil Rizzuto. A 4-9. So Guidry against the right-handed batter, I should say. Ground ball to Bucky Dent. He's got another chance to make an error or make a play. And Dent is that 2-rated shortstop. It's a 12, so we're in the error check. So Bucky Dent, an error 20, an E20. He needs a 7 through 12 again to make the play. He needs a 7 through 12 to field this. And he got it with a 12. So this time Bucky Dent was up to the task. And there are now 2 outs with the bases empty for Red Rolfe, third baseman. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Rolfe, 4-9 against Guidry, against the lefty. 4-9, we're going back to Bucky Dent again. Ground ball to short with a Bucky Dent check. Must be Bucky Dent day at the stadium. It's a 15. This time it's not an error check. It's a range check, and he is up to the task. Ground ball A. So Bucky Dent fields that with no problem. 3 more ground outs for Guidry. He's been rolling those up all game. And we've got the 7th inning stretch time, and I'm going to take a stretch and walk around a little bit and come back with the score, the 77 Yankees 3 and the 41 Yankees 2. Okay, bottom of the 7th, and Lou Piniella will lead things off against Lefty Gomez. And Lefty Gomez, his point of weakness starts with the 7th inning. So any combination of hits and walks that total 3, and he will be at his point of weakness. Tiny Bonham is still loosening in the Yankee bullpen. It is 6-7. So we're under Gomez against a righty. 6-7 is a ground ball to second base X. That's Joe Gordon. And Gordon is a number 1 rated second baseman. And that's a 17, so I believe he will make the play. A 1 rated second baseman, number 17, is a ground ball A, so he does make the play. It is 1 away. And Thurman Munson, the captain, steps up. He walked and scored his last time up. He was that 2-out walk in front of the Reggie Jackson homer. So here's Munson, 112 against a lefty. 112 is a ground ball to Rolfe at third for out number 2. So now here's Reggie. 2 outs and the base is empty. Of course, he had that big home run last time up. He's driven all 3 runs. He has a sacrifice fly in the first and a 2-run homer in the 5th. So far, he has really stepped it up. It's a 5-5. So we're under Gomez this time against the lefty, and this time he strikes out. So a strikeout for Reggie. Feast or famine. This time it's famine. We go to the 8th. Score still 77 Yankees 2, 41 Yankees 1. And Guidry, his point of weakness starts at number 8. So again, any combination of hits and unintentional walks that equal 3, and he will reach his point of weakness. He's got to go through the heart of the order. Henrik, DiMaggio, and Keller one more time. Henrik is 1 for 3. It's a 6-7 against a left-handed batter. 6-7 is a split chance. 1 to 11 is a single. 12 to 20, he will line out to Randolph. So Henrik is looking for a 1 through an 11. And he got it with a 9. So it's a base hit for Tommy Henrik to lead off the 8th inning. And just like that, the Yankee bullpen is up in full force. We have lefty and righty action. Dick Tidrow, the right-hander, and Sparky Lyle, the left-hander, are the 2 warming up in the Yankee bullpen. As Guidry goes to the order a 4th time. Could be 1 time too many. Here's Joe DiMaggio. He has controlled DiMaggio in this game with 3 ground outs. So that's been the key to his success. But can he do it a 4th time? We shall see. It's a 6-6 against a right-handed batter. This time DiMaggio is going to get him. A 1 to 10 for a double, 11 to 20 for a single. It's a star-star, so Hendrick will not be able to score. But here's the result. It's a 12, and that's a single. So DiMaggio, with a single star-star, will move Hendrick to third base. Runners are at the corners with nobody out. And Charlie Keller, the batter. And one more batter reaching base by either a unintentional walk or a hit, and Guidry will begin his point of weakness. But since he's facing a lefty Keller, they're going to leave him in there. And the runners are the infield's a double play depth because they don't give up a big inning. It's a 1-11 for Keller. 1-11 is a fly ball to center field B with a question mark. And again, the fact that Mickey Rivers is a 2 rated throwing arm is going to add 2 to the safe chance of Henrik. Henrik is a run rating 14. Run rating of 14. He was being held on, which drops him down to a 13. But then we add 2 for Rivers. I'm sorry, he was not being held on because he's at third base. So he's going to stay as a 14. Stays a 14. Add 2 from Rivers. That's a 16. So 1 to 16 chance, and we got a tie ball game. So they're going to try it. 1 to 16. It's a 2. He made it. So it's a sacrifice fly for Keller. Second sacrifice fly to center field by the 41 Yankees in this game. And now we are tied at 3. With DiMaggio at first and 1 out. And here is Bill Dickey. Bill Dickey steps to the plate. He doubled his last time up. It's a 1-6 for Dickey. 1-6 against a left-handed pitcher is a pop out to Willie Randolph at second for out number 2. He pops out to second for the second out. And now the wheels are turning for Billy Martin because you got the right-hander Gordon coming up. And so they're going to make the move with Guidry retiring. They're going to make the move to Dick Tidrow. We'll be right back as we set things up for the Tidrow versus Gordon at-bat. Okay, Guidry has pitched 6 2/3 innings, given up 7 hits. He's walked 2, only struck out 1. To this point, he's given up 3 runs, 2 that are earned. But DiMaggio at first is his responsibility. And right-hander Dick Tidrow is on to face Joe Gordon. Righty-on-righty matchup with DiMaggio at first. It's a 5-7 against a righty. 5-7 is a ground ball to short. So it's a ground ball to Dent. He goes a short way to Randolph for the fielder's choice to retire DiMaggio. and the inning is over. But the 41 Yankees do tie the score, and we can close the book now on Guidry. He's going to get a no decision out of this. We go to the bottom of the 8th. We are tied at 3 apiece. And Cliff Johnson is scheduled to be the first hitter coming up here for the 77 Yankees. But Lefty Gomez, the lefty pitcher, is going to be replaced by Tiny Bonham. Tiny Bonham. Tiny Bonham. He was 9-6 with a 2.98 ERA. And he did have 2 saves. Did start 14 games. He relieved in some games and had 2 saves. So Lefty Gomez, we'll come back and get the totals on Lefty and tell you about Tiny as we go. So we go from Lefty to Tiny. Okay, we closed the book on Lefty Gomez. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He did walk 6. That was kind of his downfall a little bit. And he struck out 3, gave up the big home run to Reggie, which was preceded by one of those 6 walks. And now Tiny Bonham, a right-hander, is in. Cliff Johnson, the right-handed hitting designated hitter, is up, but he has been called back by Billy Martin. And Roy White, switch hitter Roy White, will take over as the designated hitter, and he will start things off against Tiny Bonham. Roy White against Tiny Bonham. 2-9, so we're under Roy White against a right-hander, and he struck out. So he struck out. And just out of curiosity to see what Cliff Johnson would have done, he would have struck out also on his card. So it's a strikeout for Tiny Bonham. And that'll bring up Chris Chambliss. Chambliss, a 6-8 against Bonham, against a lefty. 6-8 is a pop out to Joe Gordon at second for out number 2. And that'll bring up Greg Nettles. 0 for 3, he's due. It's a 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball to Phil Rizzuto at short. He's a 2-rated shortstop with an E36. It's an 8, so we're going to the E rating, which is not good for Phil for the scooter, because as an E36, if it's not a 9, 10, or 11 roll, he's going to make an error. So it has to be a 9, 10, or 11 to make the play. It's a 6. He did not make the play. So an E36 with a 6 is a 1-base error. So it's a 1-base error. Nettles will reach on the E6. And that makes it 1 error for each shortstop today. 1 error apiece. And now here's Willie Randolph with 2 outs and Nettles at first. It's a 4-7. 4-7 is a ground ball to Rizzuto. He redeems himself by flipping over to Gordon for the force play at second. 6-4 to end the inning. And we go to the 9th with the score still 41 Yankees 3 and the 77 Yankees 3. And Buddy Rozar is the scheduled batter for the 41 Yankees, but he was in there because of a left-handed pitcher, and Dick Tidrow is now in as a right-hander, so he's going to be brought back, and George Selkirk is going to pinch hit for Rozar as the designated hitter. So George Selkirk will pinch hit here in the 9th and then stay in the game to be the DH the rest of the way. So Selkirk stepping in against Tidrow to start the 9th, 3-3. It's a 5-10 off of Tidrow versus a lefty. 5-10 is a fly ball to right field, Reggie Jackson, 1 away. So fly ball to right for Reggie, and there's 1 away. Had Rozar stayed in the game to bat, it would have been a fly ball to center. So either way, there would have been an out. And now here's Johnny Sturm. Sturm, it's a 6-9. 6-9 for Sturm. And that is against Tidrow, who's against a lefty. So 6-9 against a lefty is a fly ball to left field. So fly ball to Piniella for out number 2. So we start out with a fly to right. Now we go to a fly to left. And we're back to the top of the order and the scooter, Phil Rizzuto. It's a 1-3 for Rizzuto against a right-hander Tidrow, and it's a ground ball back to the pitcher. So Scooter grounds to Tidrow to end the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Chance for the 77 Yankees to win it here. In the bottom of the 9th, We're tied at 3. And bullpen activity, Johnny Murphy is in for the Yankees in the bullpen. He is their pseudo closer with 15 saves. He is loosening in case Tiny Bonham runs into any issues. And Bucky Dent's the scheduled hitter, but they may bring a pinch hitter in here. I think they are going to bring a pinch hitter because they would rather have some offense here to see if they can win this thing. So they're looking through the bench for potential pinch hitters. And it looks like they're going to bring in lefty Carlos May. So Carlos May is on to pinch hit for Bucky Dent. So Carlos May will pinch hit here in the 9th for Bucky Dent. And if the game goes extra innings, Fred Stanley will take over as the shortstop in the 10th, if it gets that far, if the Yankees don't win it outright. So Carlos May, the Yankees of 77 don't win it outright. I always have to put a disclaimer on that. All right, Carlos May, pinch hitter, steps in against Tiny Bonham. It's a 3-5, so we're under Carlos May, and he strikes out. 3-5, he struck him out. Struck him out. Bucky said, should have let me hit. Ha, 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 should have let me hit. Well, Bucky, you could have hit. You could have stayed in the game to bat. And let's see what he would have done. On a 3-5. 3-5, he would have fly to left. So either way, would have been an out. So, but in this case, it's a strikeout. So Carlos May unable to get the job done. And we're over to Mickey Rivers now. Top of the order. Rivers 1-3 against a right-hander Bonham. 1-3 is a ground ball to second. So Rivers grounds out to Joe Gordon for out number 2. And it's looking like extra innings is a strong possibility here. Unless Lou Piniella can do something. With 2 outs and the base is empty. 4-7. 4-7 against a righty. Ground ball to Rizzuto, and we're going extra innings. Ground ball to Rizzuto, and we've got extra frames. Extra innings. We'll be right back for the 10th. Okay, we start the 10th, and I erroneously only gave Guidry credit for 6 2/3 innings. He actually pitched 7 2/3 innings. Dick Tidrow has just finished pitching 1 1/3 inning, and he will give way to Sparky Lyle. So Sparky Lyle is on for the 77 Yankees, and he will be facing some lefties, Red Rolfe, Tommy Henrich, and then DiMaggio's a righty, but then there's some lefties after that. So lots of lefties, so that's why they brought the lefty Lyle in, to try to get the heart of the order out of here. So here's Red Rolfe, 6-3 against Sparky, against a lefty. 6-3 is a fly ball to left field X. That is Lou Piniella, who is a number 3 rated left fielder. Number 3 rated left fielder. It's a 6. It's a 6. So we're going to check the left field rating. For the left fielder, number 3 and a 6. That's a single. So it's a single. It falls in. Piniella was not able to get to it. So Red Rolfe leads off the top of the 10th with a single. And there's no bunting here because you got Tommy Henrich and Joe DiMaggio coming up. They're not even going to think about bunting. Although Henrich is an A-rated bunter, but he hit 31 home runs, so you'd hate to think they could actually walk DiMaggio if they bunt him over, so they're going to let him hit. It's 5-7. The wheels are turning in both dugouts, Joe McCarthy and Billy Martin. It's a 5-7. Sparky Lyle 5-7 against a lefty is a 1-15 is a single. Anything else is a ground ball to first, which would be a fielder's choice. So it's a 1-15. He'll make it safely. And he does. It's a single. So Henrich singles, puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and Joe DiMaggio coming to the plate. So this could be trouble for the 77 Yankees. Joe DiMaggio singled his last time up. He's 1 for 4. Here he is against Sparky Lyle. It's a 5-6 against a right-hander, and he struck him out. So Sparky Lyle bearing down, getting the strikeout for out number 1. And now it's back to a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Charlie Keller, the left fielder. Charlie Keller, he had the sacrifice fly in the 8th that tied the game. It's a 2-6, so Charlie Keller against a lefty, 2-6. It's a split chance. 1 to 14 will be a single. It is only 1 star, so it would not score a run, but it would load the bases. So for Keller, a 1 to 14 will be a single. It's an 8. It's a single. So the bases are now loaded with 1 out. Bases loaded, 1 out for catcher Bill Dickey. Lefty on lefty matchup against Sparky Lyle, who's running into issues. Bases loaded and 1 out. He needs a double play in the worst way. It's a 6-4. 6-4 against the lefty batter is a fly ball center field X. Mickey Rivers is a 3 rated center fielder. So even if he makes the play, it could be a sac fly. But we'll see. Center fielder at 3, it's a 9. So we'll check center fielder. That's an error range because 9 to 12 you go to the error split. And Mickey Rivers is an E9. So an E9, Mickey Rivers will need a 7, 9, 10, 11, or 12 to make the play. And even if he does, it's a fly ball B. So best case scenario for the 77 Yankees is you get a sac fly. So here is the check on Rivers. It's a 5 as an E9. A 5 is a 2-base error on Mickey Rivers. So that will score 2 runs as Mickey Rivers makes a mistake in the outfield and makes a 2-base error. E8, 2-base error, and that will score Red Rolfe for 1 run, and it will also score Henrik for the other run. Don't know if that run's going to be earned yet or not. The Red Rolfe run is earned because it would have been a sac fly anyway. And Keller moves over to third. So now you got runners at second and third. 2 runs already in, only 1 out. Infield has to come in, but I'm not sure in the advanced game if that even factors into anything. So here's Joe Gordon. It's a 6-3. 6-3 against the right-handed batter. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. Fly ball left field X to Piniella, who is a 3, and it looks like the Yankee defense is starting to let them down here. It's a 7, which also could end up in the error range, but it does not. A 7 is a fly ball C. So fly ball C for Piniella and no runners advance. So an escape there for Sparky Lyle to keep any runs from scoring after that. And now here's George Selkirk, the designated hitter who came in to relieve Rosar. And Selkirk is up with 2 on and 2 out. It's a 4-6 against Sparky Lyle. 4-6, that's going to be another run, another 2 runs, because the worst that could happen is a single star. So 2 through 20 will be a single star, and that's what it is, a 7. So that's a single for Selkirk, and that will make the run for Henrik unearned and the run for Keller unearned and the run for Dickey unearned. So 3 of the 4 runs that came in this inning are unearned, but the 41 Yankees could care less. They now have a 7-3 lead here in the 10th, and Johnny Sturm will step in. It's a 3-2 against a lefty, and a 3-2 against a lefty is a fly ball to right field to end the inning. So the inning is finally over. They sent 8 batters to the plate against Sparky Lyle and picked up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. And Tiny Bonham with a chance to close this one out for his team. But actually they're going to bring in Johnny Murphy because he is the pseudo closer in this game. No save situation, but Tiny Bonham certainly can qualify for the win. So we'll be right back to give the totals on Tiny. Okay, you can close the book on Sparky Lyle most likely. 1 inning pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs. Only 1 of them earned thanks to that big 2-base error by Mickey Rivers. Walked 1, struck out 1, and he's going to most likely end up being the losing pitcher. Tiny Bonham went 2 innings, gave up nothing, struck out 2. And Johnny Murphy, the pseudo closer, is in to wrap things up, or at least to attempt to wrap things up against the 77 Yankees. He'll be facing the heart of the order, Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, and Roy White. So here's Munson. It's a 4-4 against Murphy, against a right-hander. 4-4 is a catcher X catcher X, and that is Bill Dickey, who was a 1-rated catcher. And defense really played an important role in this game. Obviously, the defensive difference between the 41 Yankees and the 77 Yankees is magnified. That's a 4 on the catcher, number 4. It's a wild pitch and a pop out, but there's nobody on base for a wild pitch, so it's simply a pop out to Bill Dickey for out number 1. And the 41 Yankees are 2 outs away from advancing to the final 4. So here, and they'll be facing the winner of the computer bracket, PC game bracket version. So here's Reggie. It's a 2-4 for Reggie against a right-handed pitcher. 2-4 is a fly ball to left to Keller in left for out number 2. So now down to their final out, Roy White. Roy White, the designated hitter, he came in and pinch hit for Cliff Johnson and struck out in the 8th. So White is up 6-6. White's a switch hitter, so 6-6 against the lefty. He struck out again, and that's the ball game. So Johnny Murphy strikes out Roy White. Ball game is over. Tiny Bonham the winner, Sparky Lyle the loser. And we'll come back and total up everything in this game, this extra inning game, in just a moment. Okay, final wrap-up line score. The 1941 Yankees, 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They left 8 on base. The 77 Yankees, 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and they also left 8 on base. Tiny Bonham, the winner, with 2 innings of shutout relief. And Sparky Lyle, the tough luck loser, giving up those 4 runs, although only one of them was earned, but the one would have been enough to end the game anyway. But that's going to do it from here, and the Yankees of 41 are the lone surviving Yankee team to advance in the tournament, and they will be facing the winner of the computer bracket game between the Moneyball Oakland A's and the 79 Orioles. They will move on to face the 41 New York Yankees. And I do have the 41 Yankees on PC as well as the cards, so I'm trying to determine whether I want to play that game on PC or play it kind of hybrid, using the PC to get the card imaging for these teams and play cards and dice. I may do that. I haven't decided yet. I have to have something to resolve that. And in the other bracket, there's one more game remaining in the cards and dice Elite 8 version, and that's the replay of the 69 World Series. And the winner of that game will face the 83 Orioles in the Final 4. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. If you're a Yankee fan, at least you have one team going. If you're not a Yankee fan, you get the benefit and the joy of seeing the 77 Yankees bite the dust. And that's going to do it from here. Until next time, hope everybody has a good day and enjoys playing whatever game they choose to play. And get a break from reality and just enjoy yourself. Good night, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.